Welcome to your daily dose of theological German. We are going to be starting a new series today. This is actually just an introduction video because I want to explain what it is that we're doing, and so it's going to take a few minutes. And so the first actual translation is going to be in the next video. So if you don't really care about the explanation and you just want to see some German and start translating it, you can just go ahead and jump ahead to episode 1 in this series. This video is just titled The Introduction because that's all it's going to be. What we're doing here is we're starting a theological German reader here with Ziefle, and what Ziefle has done is provided the world with this fantastic series of excerpts. And so this book starts out with several biblical excerpts from the Lutheran Bible, and then it moves into several excerpts from important works of theology, beginning with one from Martin Luther and then progressing through the modern period of different excerpts from important kind of theological discussions and also biblical studies. So there's just a good kind of sampling of German for your reading. What's nice about this book is that it's designed to give you a quick access to sort of just reading along in German and therefore getting exposed to lots of German text in a way that would be faster than you might do if you're just starting out and trying to work your way through word by word translating things. And so in terms of exposure, which is an important part of language learning, this book I think is a very useful help. And so if you're not aware of this book, I strongly recommend you get a copy. You probably have to find it used at this point, but it's easy to come by on Amazon or other places. And so I strongly recommend it. I wanted to show you very quickly a little sample of what it looks like. So basically what Ziefle has done here is, this is a selection from Luther, and so what he's done is he's just given you all of these helps, both vocabulary and also syntax, but kind of in a cheating sort of way. And so you'll notice here this first sentence, okay, which you have a separable verb, zu gehen, which means something like to come about. And so then you have how, but how is it that, but how does it come about, or whatever, that, faith alone can make one pious. Okay, so there's your sentence. Well, over here you have your helps. And so he doesn't unpack here for you that this is a separable verb. He just tells you this is going to be translated something like, but how is it? Okay, so it's just the beginning of the sentence. How is it? How is it that? And then he starts giving you other like vocabulary helps. Faith, even though you have a definite article there, really this is just the concept of faith. And in German, sometimes you're going to use a definite article with conceptual terms. Faith alone. And then he shows you the verb können, which actually is helpful because you'll see that that's not the same form as kann over here, and so you'll start to get used to seeing the lexical form of verbs that are actually conjugated in the text itself. And okay, so you see that's going to mean to be able to or can. And anyway, so you can see what he's doing here, right? And it's very helpful because as you're reading down, you might get to something, down in this line, and so you can see that you're somewhere around this area. You can find what it is that you're looking for if you don't understand what's happening in the text. And the whole point is that you can then read through this very quickly. You're not stopping to try to figure out syntax or find out what happened with some verb. If you're coming across something where you're just sort of looking at it and you're like, wow, this whole phrase is a bit confusing sounding to me, you can come over here and see, oh, here we must be sure to note, and then you can just kind of carry on. And so I think it's really helpful to just start getting you exposed to German and seeing the patterns in German, etc. But what has happened is I've had a viewer request to actually go through these same excerpts on this channel, because on this channel, of course, we don't just tell you what it says, we try to walk through some of the syntax and explain how we figured it out. And so it kind of takes what Ziefle has done here and brings it to another level by adding a kind of, I would say, complementary aid to working through these passages of theological German. And so that's what we're going to be doing for several episodes. However, that said, if you have suggestions for other things, other German work you would like to see me do a 15-episode series on, please do put those in the comments, because I'm happy to take breaks at any time from working through these various excerpts in this reader and do other things. And so whatever is going to be helpful to you, the viewer, that's what I really want to be focused on. But based on one viewer who is currently working their way through this book, I have decided to just make this my default fallback. These are the excerpts that we will work through on these episodes on this channel until we have a suggestion to do something else. So please do put your suggestions in the comments. And otherwise, please do get a copy of this book, especially if you're just getting started in your theological German reading. I find that this book will be a huge help, I think, to you as you make your way through that. It's kind of nice because Ziefle also gives some background of each of the works that he has excerpted in this book. And so you get to know who some of these people are that have written some of these things a little bit. Of course, I think many of us will have some idea who Luther is, but there's several other authors in here. And so, yeah, I would encourage you to get this book and to then follow along through these episodes as you are learning and working on your theological German. And if you're just trying to stay fresh, well, I think these episodes will still help you because these are, at the end of the day, just German works that have interesting things to say that we can read and translate and work through. So go ahead and jump to the first episode. That will also be uploaded today with this one, so you'll be able to get started right away. But I just wanted to give you an introduction as to what it is that we're doing and not have it sort of distract you from the translation videos, which are the main point of this channel.